when this is all over, what restaurant are you gonna go to first? Where are you gonna go out to eat first?
McDonald's, man. I can't even lie.
Oh wow, Medisia, is that you?
It's not even me, but I'm at a point in life now where it's like I've started to appreciate finances a lot more ever
Mm,
since 2016, since the start of
yeah,
uni. And I think early this year, if not late last year, I was like, if I was around in 2008-9, I would have killed that recession. Like I would have shorted the market, I would have put everything in stocks, and I'd be balling right now. And
therefore,
then to have the exact same thing happen now, like markets crash, like I know it's going to recover. So why
of
would I
course,
not put everything I can straight into FTSE 100 or whatever? I mean, that's what I've been doing. I've
yeah,
only got like what £200, but I'm like, you know what? If I can invest that instead of eating out, that will change. Like that's 250 next year, and
you,
so on and so on. So everything that I can, that's not. I've got a mentality where it's like if let's say I want to buy, I don't know, a new pair of shoes, and I say, you know what, I'm not gonna buy it. Instead of me just spending that on something else, I'll be like, that £60 that I would have spent on Air Forces, I'm gonna put into savings.
mm,
So literally, I must have saved. That's why I fixed my parents' bathroom. I saved like 4 grand within a year and a half just by doing that, by like saving up that 99p for the McFlurry I didn't buy or the 60 for shoes. And I don't know, I'm so much more focused in that now because of what's going on that I just can't see myself eating out. Especially now as a single guy, like I don't like going to restaurants anymore other than like for birthdays.
mm.
I'll take a girl to IKEA for a date. That's my date. I'm not
Yeah,
buying you anything.
come on, shout out IKEA. That is a very, very, very cute date. Um,
IKEA's and Boris bikes. Those are my top two dates. I just want
IKEA's
someone
Boris
paid.
Bikes, walking and talking. Come on, nothing beats walking and talking.
Come on. Top tier date.
Yes, very, very, very top tier. Getting on the London Underground. I would be there then in Gouchers.
Never
Boy.
goes wrong. But yeah, man,
Mm,
I'm not spending money ever again.
mm. It's good though, like you're very proactive. I mean, most people now will be waiting for something to happen in the market. Then it's like, what? Market's gonna crash. Let me put my money in defense stocks or in defense assets or whatever. Let me see how much gold I can get, how much of this bond I could get. Da da da. Oh, UK's in this situation. Okay, cool. US bonds. Let's see what's happening here. But I think it's good to always be proactive to like the situation rather than be reactive. You know what I mean? Like, don't save just for the sake of saving, or don't save because you have to save. Save because you want to, and save because you know that when you do, and when the time is right for you to actually dip into those savings, you can pat yourself on the back for doing that.
Mm, mm,
Yeah.
for sure, man. Like I've been telling myself, when my insurance runs out in September, if I can't get a Tesla, like I'm gonna hate myself.
It's a good mindset to have, though. It's a very good mindset to have because I think just that and just having the skills to have money management, I think is something that you have to learn because it's not taught in school at all. It really isn't. Um,
Absolutely.
and I think there's a reason as well because it's not something that you can just teach to people. You can teach you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And if you've always been someone that has been ready to spend as much as you can, then, you know, why would you listen to somebody that's telling you, save, 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 save? Like, it's crazy. Spending is actually going up, in this economy. Like, it's not going down because people have dipped into their reserves and their savings. Spending it's not really gone down as much. It's really actually going up. Um,
Mad.
yeah, and it all makes for a very bleak economy because the UK is losing so much right now, losing so much. So I can imagine that a lot of people, when this is all over, are going to be wishing that they were a lot more reactive. No, sorry, a lot more proactive. And they didn't wait for things like this to happen. They had the foresight to be able to save and have that rainy day fund for days like this to come.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, when this is all over, who knows? Who knows how who knows how things are going to go? Who's to say that there's not going to be another pandemic in like 2 or 3 years time? Who's to say that?
Yeah.
I actually listened back to the podcast that you invited. I actually looked into it the other day with Wimbledon, how they've actually got pandemic insurance. I think that's crazy. I think that's so like next level. That just blew my mind. That's like next level shit.
Yeah. When I read that, I was like, who would have thought? Because they only added it, what, last year, year before?
Mm,
So it's like, oh, it's mad. Someone knew something was coming, man.
somebody knew.
Wimbledon are
Somebody knew.
paying for 5G.
Mm. Oh man. It's funny how it just coincides with that, to be honest. Oh boy. Good old 5G. Um, but yeah, that seems to be the topic on everybody else's lips.